Okay, let's talk here because there's going to be a little change here in your packet. Everyone knows we had the quiz on Tuesday. That's been written down since the beginning of the unit. Monday we're going to review, which is day 4. That's probably a lot of you are staring at. So we're going to do day 4 on Monday. I didn't want the quiz to be on a Monday. All right, I thought that would have been a disaster, so that's why I pushed it to Tuesday. All right, so Monday we're going to review for the quiz on Monday and do day 4. So I'm going to skip over to day 5 today. But before I do, the quiz, I don't know who's going to prepare for it and when you're going to prepare for it, but if you're going to prepare for it this weekend, the quiz is only on days 1 through 3. Okay? Day 5 is not on the quiz. Day 4 is a review day. So that, of course, is going to be not part of it. 1 through 3 only. Days 1 through 3 is the quiz. All good? Day 5 we're going to do today, and the homework's still due on Monday. Day 5 is nice. No proofs today. Hey, no proofs. Need to do a little algebra from Algebra 1 last year, though. Everyone remember slope formula, y equals mx plus b? Maybe, maybe not. At least, I know it's on your radar, at least. All right, I just need to refresh here. Slope formula, let's first start there, because that's what we're going to use a ton here today. First, anybody remember the letter associated with slope? I don't know why in math it's related to this letter, but it is. M. Yeah, I don't know where that comes from, but it's M. M always represents the slope. And you guys probably maybe remember the formula. Anybody want to drop some knowledge from last year? All right, Alexia, let's go.
y2 minus y1.
Good job, yeah.
x2.
Yep, y's on top, x is on the bottom. Change in y over change in x. I also use another one, especially when I'm graphing. I use rise over. Anybody want to finish it? Run. Oh, we know that one, right? We know that one. Good. All right, just 4 diagrams real quick of different types of slope. Positive, I always think it's going uphill, positive, downhill, negative. Here's the 2 I want you to be familiar with. This third diagram, anybody know what type of line this is? Don't say straight. They're all straight. What type of line do I have here? Horizontal, thank you, yes. And versus this last diagram, which this is? Vertical, all right. So anytime the line is horizontal, we say the slope is 0. It exists, it's just the number 0. Versus a vertical line, no slope exists, all right? See the difference? This does have a slope. It does. Horizontal lines have a slope, but it's just the number 0. Versus undefined, no slope exists. All right? Am I concerned about graphing? Nope. I'm concerned about writing equations of lines. So this is where we're going to live today. Last year, I don't know, did you guys do something called point slope last year? Yeah, I don't care about that. Maybe, I don't know, standard form, I don't care about that. There's only one form I care about this year, and that is slope intercept. Y equals mx plus b. Should be familiar. There are 2 pieces to that you need to know. The m, which we just called what? Slope. And the b. The b, which I know I wrote it up there already, but that's called your y-intercept. So the first thing we're going to do, if I give you an equation, can you give me both of those values? So look at number 1, y equals 4x plus 2. We can all do this together as a class, at least on this one. What's in place of m, the slope here? Everyone, what's in place of the m? What's my slope? 4. 4 is the slope. And what's in place of the b, my y-intercept? 2, right? I can only do that, though, if it's y equals. If it's not, we're going to have to do something to it first. All right, so the only way I can find the m and the b if it's y equals to begin with. All right, real quick graph. If you remember from last year, I always graph the y-intercept first. So the y-intercept is 2, so everyone go to the y-axis and graph 2. But for a line, you need at least 2 points. I only have 1. So where do I get the second point from? That's my slope, 4. And this is where I use rise over run. All right, so if the slope is 4, from 2, I go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then where do I go? Over it. Now, when we say over, If it's positive to the right, if it's negative to the left, it's positive. So up 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. If you want to do it again, fine, but you only need 2 points to graph a line. I'm not handing out straight edges today because the graphing doesn't concern me. All right, just graph that bad boy in. All right, so there's that line. All right, look at number 2. Nobody's giving me the slope right now. Why not? Don't even think about it. Oh, it's -6. It's with the x. No, it's not -6. What's wrong with this line where I can't give you the slope? Not in y equals form. So here we go. Help me transform it into y equals form, please. First step to transform it into y equals. Oh, please be me. Please be me. Yep. 2-1. Lauren back there. What do you got? What's my first step? Oh, somebody in the first class said that too. That's got to be by itself before you divide. Okay, the 3y needs to, we're going to do that, but not right now. I need to get it by itself before I do that. So instead, relax. No, I got to get the 6. I got to get this -6x out of here. How do I get it to the other side? Add it. So add 6x to the other side. So I'm left with 3y, and I always like the x to come first, 6x plus 12. All right, Lauren, now what do you want to do? Divide by 3 on each side. Yep. Okay, oops, ready? Divide everything by 3. What's this going to end up being? 2x plus 4? Now you can tell me the slope and the y-intercept. So let's do that for me. Here we go. Let's roll. 2's. Simon, slope. 2. Yep, 2 over 1 if you're feeling warm inside. Yep. How about my y-intercept? 1, 9. Cormac? 4. Okay, let's graph it now. Let's graph it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then up 2 over 1. You want to graph more points? Go ahead, but we only need 2. Okay, all good. All right, now here's where I need you guys to be today. Write the equation of these lines and slope-intercept. I'm going to give you some information. You provide me with the equation of a line, but it's got to be y equals form. Remember, right? Write the equation in slope-intercept form. That's what we just worked on, which is y equals mx plus b. Okay. All right, so before I write the equation, you guys got to help me out. I need 2 values from you. Before I write a final answer, I need to know what the slope is, and I need to know what the y-intercept, the b value is. And as we read number 3, I'll just say you're welcome. What do we know in number 3? Everything. Everything. We don't need to do any work other than write the equation now. I already know the slope, and I already know the b value. Done. Put them together. What's the equation of this line? Woo. 5 spot. Jared, what's the equation?
Y equals 3x plus 4.
Done. That was cute, huh? Too bad you're in above average math class, and probably the odds are very slim that I'm going to do that again. Look at number 4. What do you know in number 4? The slope, but what don't I know? Okay, so we need to work. How do I find the y-intercept? If maybe you did something last year with whoever you had, I do it one way and one way only. I find the y-intercept by using the slope-intercept formula. Y equals mx plus b. Remind me again, what were we missing? Which is what value up here? B. So that's going to stay b, and you're going to help me plug in for y, m, and x right now so I can solve for b. Well, how do I do that? All right. Y and x are a point somewhere on the line. Y and X are a point on the line. Did I provide that for you? Darn right I did. What's the Y coordinate? Oh, here we go, Lauren. Redemption. What's the Y coordinate of the point it goes through? So that goes in for Y. -4. Keep trucking. What's the slope? -1. Plug it in for M. And then finally, Lauren, finish it. Finish it. What's the X coordinate? 2. There we go. You're redeemed. Now can we solve for B? I hope so. If we're at this, if you made it to me now. -4 equals -2 plus B. I'll ask it. How do I get the B by itself? 1, 5. Alexi, how do I get the B by itself? Add, darn right. Add 2 over. What's my B value? Looks like it's going to be -2. I have the slope. I have the y-intercept. Put the 2 together. Somebody write the equation of this line now. One spot. Zoli, write the equation of this line now that I know both items.
So, -4 equals -2x plus negative.
Whoa. Well, I need y equals mx plus b. Remember, the only two things you plug in, m, b. That's it. So this should start off y equals
-2x plus -2.
What was the slope?
The slope is -2. No, it's just x.
What letter represents slope again? Let's back up. What letter represents slope? What letter represents slope?
M.
I gave you m in number 4. What was it equal to?
-2.
Where are you getting -2 from?
No, -1.
-1 x. Now give me the b value we just worked hard to find.
-2.
-2. We good here? Okay. So the first problem, I gave you everything. This one, I gave you one but not the other. What if I don't give you anything? And you got to find both the slope and the y-intercept on your own. Take a look at 5. I didn't give you anything but 2 points on the line. So let's start with, all right, well, how can I find the slope then? Because I need that and then the y-intercept. Well, I think we started somewhere at the beginning of these notes by giving you what? With the slope formula, right? Which is change in y over change in x. So that's how we can find the slope in this problem, because it's not always going to be given. All right, plug in the y coordinates first you want to subtract. Who's up here? Boom, 3. Stellan, plug in the y coordinates. Okay, fine with me. -3 minus 0. Now, order matters. Order matters. Stellan gave me -3 first, so I need to give its x coordinate first. I just can't subtract any x's I want in any order. Since he gave me -3 first, I need to put 7 first down below. Whatever y you give me first, you got to put the x first. -5. If you want to start using your calculators or do it in your head, that's fine. I always like to leave it as a fraction, please. Leave it as a fraction if possible, and I think your calculator gives you both anyway, so. -3/2. That's what we're getting out there, -3/2. All right, there's the slope. Are you ready for the y-intercept now? How do I find the y-intercept? Same way I did in the previous problem. Use y equals mx plus b. And we're going to, again, solve for b. But hey, we got a choice now. Class decision. Last problem, you had 1 and only 1 point you had to plug in. Now we have 2. So I can plug in either one. Class decision. Anybody have a preference? Which one of those 2 points you want to plug in? 5, 0. Why don't we stay away from negatives, right? 5, 0. Sounds good. All right, if I plug in 5, 0. Woo, here we go. 1, 5. Alexi, you're up. What do I plug in for y then? 0. Yeah, be confident. Equals, we just did the work. What's the slope? Negative 3 over 2. And what's my x value I'm going to plug in? 5. Yep. And I do not feel any sympathy for any one of you. You have a calculator that can do these fractions. So negative 3 halves times 5 is not a big deal for us.
You wanted us to keep this a fraction?
That's your call. The only time I don't want a decimal is if it just keeps going on forever. So it's your call. If you want to put the decimal down, that's fine. I'm going to just keep rolling with fractions. Negative 15 halves plus b. Or if you guys have negative 7.5, that's fine too. All right, how do I get the b by itself now? 6. Alyssa.
You gotta add 15.5.
Darn right I do. All right, we did it. B equals 15 halves. We did it. Now we have the slope and we have the y-intercept. Final person here, put them all together and write this equation for me. 2, Bailey, put them all together. What do I have?
Y equals negative 3 halves x plus 15 halves or 7.5.
Perfect. There's the equation of that line. Slope, y-intercept. We get the y-intercept the same way every time. We use y equals mx plus b. All right, what's the name of this unit, by the way? Name of this unit? Parallel lines, right? And perpendicular lines. We haven't talked, how's this fit in? How does slope fit into this unit right here? And I think you maybe have done this last year. If lines are parallel, you know something about their slopes. If they're perpendicular, we'll see. All right, so here's what I need from you. We need an equation of a line parallel to this one, but got to go through that one. So the first thing we're going to do in this text box I gave you is, if 2 lines are parallel, see if you guys can finish this from last year. 2 lines are parallel. Their slopes are blank. Anybody remember last year? I think I'm pretty confident you guys did this. If 2 lines are parallel, their slopes are always
Equal.
Dylan, yep.
Same.
Same, equal, congruent. Yep, I'm going to use equal. Okay, so in this problem here, they're parallel. So they're parallel. That means the slopes are going to be the same. Unfortunately, though, anybody going to give me the slope of that line right now? Can you tell me what the slope? Don't tell me -1. Or why not? Well, I can't. You cannot give me the slope of that line. Why not? It's not y equals. You cannot give me slope unless it's in y equals form. So how do I get it into y equals form? Only one step needed. Only one step needed, Drew. Darn right. Divide by 2. Y equals. Ooh, how do you deal with this now? What's the next part going to look like? Negative 1/2 x. Yep, don't put 0.5. And then plus what? 2. Plus 2. All right, what's the slope of this line? What's the slope of this line? 9. Slope of this line, Vinny?
Y. Oh.
It's just the slope.
Yeah. -1 over 2.
-1/2, right, everyone? The slope's -1/2. So that means when I write my final answer, the slope will also be -1/2 because they're parallel and the slopes are always the same. But I'm still missing a value. I have the slope. What's the other one that we need to work on? What's the other one we still need to work on? Y-intercept. How do I find the y-intercept? Same darn way I found the last 2 problems. Plug it into y equals mx plus b and solve for b. All right, I gave you a point it goes through. Who's up here? Who's up? 1-8. Lily, ready? Y coordinate. Good job. 5. M.
1/2.
Good. What? Negative 1/2, right? Again, why am I still using the same slope? Because the lines are parallel. I use the same slope. And how about the x to finish it, Lou?
-2.
Good work. Good work. Great work. All right, go ahead. Find the b. When you have the b value, let me know. Take your time. Let me know when you have the b value. 3. Stella, when you have the b value. Yep, whenever. Let me know.
I got 4.
Yes, you did. All right, put the two values together. Write the equation of this parallel line for me. 4. Tess, let's write this bad boy. Y equals?
-1/2 x plus 4.
You got it. So if they're parallel, you just keep the slope the same. Ooh, now though, what if they're perpendicular? They form a right angle with each other. And you guys don't have this, do you? You have a new line in there. Change that. Thanks, Jeff. It goes through that point. All right, so let's fill in this text box here because the slopes are not equal anymore. Ooh, this would be huge. You would be dropping some serious knowledge on me and your classmates if you remember this. If two lines are... First, can anybody perpendicular symbol from these last 2 units we've been doing?
It's upside down T.
Darn right. If two lines are perpendicular, their slopes are... I'm not going to put the word equal there because that is false. Anybody remember? This would be serious knowledge. Going. All right. This is the term I use. The slopes are negative. Anybody want to finish it? No? Reciprocals. Negative reciprocals. What's that mean? You take whatever slope you find, flip it, and change the sign. Okay, so whatever the slope we find, you're going to flip it and change the sign, and there's my new slope. Not doing anything here. You're not finding any slope here. Why not?
It's not like
Nadia, y equals. Help me make it into y equals. What do you want to do first? 9. Vinny,
Subtract 3.
can we do something before that?
Oh, just
That's not wrong, but I'd rather do something before that.
distribute.
Yeah, let's clean this up and distribute the 4. So I have y plus 3 equals 4x minus 8. Okay, Vinny, now what?
Subtract 3.
Yeah, now subtract 3 over. What's the slope of this line we just created? Come on. 10. Ooh, boy. Henry, what's the slope of this line?
-4. Oh,
No,
no, 4.
Just this line.
Just 4.
Don't get ahead of me. Just 4. All right. So now think about it. What's going to be my new slope now of this new line that's perpendicular to it? Negative reciprocal. Ready? Everyone do this in your head. Flip 4. Remember, it's 4 over 1. Flip it and change the sign. What are you thinking about? What's in your mind right now? What's the slope of my new line now after I flipped it and changed the sign? It is negative 1/4. Negative 1/4. So that's going to be in my answer, negative 1/4. What am I still missing though? Y-intercept. Let's find it just like we've been doing all today. Y equals mx plus b. All right, who's up for this one? Ooh, 1, 2. Finley, ready? What do I plug in for the y? Good job. 6. Now, I'll help you out with this. I don't want 4 plugged in. These aren't parallel. I want the negative reciprocal, which we just said was what? There you go. -1/4 is getting plugged in for m. X value? 8. Good work. And I solve for b. Go ahead. Do your magic. When you find the b value, let me know. Tess, when you find it, let me know. 8, good work. Put the 2 together now. What's my equation? Let's put the 2 together. Zoli, let's put them together here. Redemption time. Slope of -1/4 and a y-intercept of 8.
Y equals -1/4 x plus e.
There we go, redemption. So over the weekend, if it says they're parallel, you keep the slope the same. If it says they're perpendicular, you flip and change the sign on it. All good? Because this is really what I needed you right here. This is where we need to be right here. This last part we're going to do is just exceptions to the rule. All right, a couple exceptions to the rule. All right, last ones here. On the graph I provided down below, can you guys graph 5, -1 for me? 5, -1. And then it says draw a horizontal line through it. Oh my, what was horizontal again? I hope somebody in my group knows. 5, -1. Can you draw a horizontal line through it? All right, let's talk. How do I write the equation of this line? Because this doesn't follow my got to find a slope, got to find a y-intercept rule. All right, watch what I'm going to do up here, and this will help you find the equation of this line. Don't do this, please, because you're going to make a mess on your graph. This point was what? 5, -1. This point is 2, -1. Stay with me. And then this point, I'll just graph another one, is -3, -1. What do all 3 points have in common? What do all 3 points have in common? So
Y.
the y coordinate is what? One more time. The y is equal to what? You just found the equation. All right. Y equals -1. Y equals -1. Now, why doesn't it have an x with it? Right? Y equals mx. Why doesn't it have an x with it? What type of line was this again? Horizontal. Go back to the 4 diagrams I did at the beginning if you forgot. Any horizontal line has a slope of what? 0, correct. So that's why you don't see 0x. It doesn't exist. So in the text box, the rule, let's first do the rule for a horizontal line. If the line is horizontal, every time, it'll be y equals a number. What number? What are you talking about? Well, it depends where it goes through. In this case, it was -1. Okay? It will always be y equals a number. All right, last one. Go ahead and graph 4, 3 for me. Graph 4, 3 and draw a vertical line through it. 4, 3. Draw a vertical line through it. What's going to be the equation? Ready? Here's 4, 3. Here's 4, 6. And here's 4, 9. What's in common with all these points? X equals One more time, x equals, there's the equation. All right, x equals, a little bit different, right? It doesn't even go y equals anymore. And here's why. Go back to the beginning of today's notes. What's the slope of any vertical line? None, undefined, no slope. So finally, the rule for any vertical line. Remember, any vertical line is x equals a number now. Okay, so if a line is vertical, you'll write the equation x equals wherever it goes through. Please take a look at the bottom. Everything's out of the textbook. I do not want, the textbook says to graph. I don't want any graphs. No graphs. All right, I'm not testing you on graphing. It's writing the equations. All right, so get out your Chromebooks, get out the textbook pages, and let's get rolling here. Okay, again, this is not on the quiz on Tuesday, but I am going to check the homework Monday on it.